Growing up, when I was in high school, I used to play a lot of disc golf. And if you're unfamiliar with what disc golf is, it's basically golf, as most people would call it, or traditional golf, as a lot of people who play disc golf call it. Same rules, but instead of using a club, a ball, a golf course, and trying to get a ball in a hole, you're throwing a disc, which is essentially a frisbee, and you're trying to land it into a basket. Similar concept though, each hole is rated, by a par 3, 4, 5, etc. And your goal is to get it in as few throws as possible. But I always enjoyed disc golf. It's a lot of fun. It's a very easily accessible hobby. Here in Georgia, there's a lot of courses and a lot of courses with water. So what I wanted to do today is come out here and play a course that I'm very familiar with, Lenora Park. And then, try and catch a fish afterwards in the public park lake. And we're calling this series Discs and Dinks. Let's get started. Okay, this is my first throw in a few years, really. You don't need a lot of discs to play. You need at least one, but you can carry up to, 20, 30, some guys do. But today we're playing with 2. It's a pretty short par 3. It's a really easy course and very open. So it's really good, good beginner course, or a good course to play if you haven't played in a while. So, and that's a good drive. Good drive. I'll take that. On to the next throw. Now, one of the main rules you want to keep in mind is your lead foot, or your whichever foot's forward, can't cross the plane of the front edge of the disc that you just threw towards the basket. Outside of that, you're just trying to toss it in. And I'm a little rusty. I haven't played in a while, but what I'm doing is just picking a link on a chain close to the center, focusing on that. I usually give it a 1, 2, 3, and then you miss it. So looks like maybe we're gonna end up picking up a par. We're only a few feet out from the basket now. I might be off screen just a hair, but you can also drop a disc in front of the disc on the ground to mark it if you're gonna use that disc again. But nice little par to start out the course. We'll see you guys on, let's say, hole number 4. Well, I stand corrected. This is actually a par 3, but this is probably my favorite hole on this course. Most actual golf course-like course around that I'm aware of, but just a nice little dog leg left. You get a good throw, it'll set you up for a birdie, no problem. Let's see if we can work something out here. It's a good straight throw. I need to turn more. A little stronger than I remember being, but we'll dial it in. These are honestly the trickier shots here. What I was talking about earlier too, you can either, if you're not gonna cross the plane of the front leading edge of your disc to the basket in order to, be within the rules, you can either drop a disc in front of it if you're gonna use that as a marker, if you're gonna use the same one you just threw, or just flip your disc forward towards the basket. Make sure your foot doesn't cross that plane. These are tricky shots though, because you got this tree overhanging. It's kind of a mid-distance. You can't really do a full throw, and it's a little bit too long for me to kind of putt, so you kind of got to do something a little in between. But really, I'm just kind of trying to lay up for this par, so. Not a glamorous shot, but we should be able to make this next one for a par. Like I said earlier, when I putt, I just try to pick a link and focus on that. Simple enough. That's a really short putt. All right, see you on hole 7. Well, hole 7 is the first par 5 on this course, the way it's set up today. Hopefully that means I can pick up a stroke or two. I birdied 5 and bogeyed 6, so we're still one over. This is a cool hole though. They got the basket raised up on like a stepping, on some steps, like an elevated basket, which is kind of neat. But hopefully we can get down there and pick up a stroke. Well, that's most of the way there, so looking good so far. Yeah, the good thing about this course is it's wide open. This hole's really not long enough to be a par 5 by most course standards. And it's wide open, so it's relatively easy to pick up a stroke or two here. If I get near the basket, I have a chance at eagle, and I'll pick up 2 strokes. That'll put us under par. So again, kind of a short toss, not really a full throw, but you still kind of go through the motions of it. And we just kind of let it turn back down towards the basket. Don't know if we'll pick up an eagle, but we should be good for a birdie. Yeah, this is a tough little shot. Definitely not guaranteed. So we mark our disc. We're using the same one we just threw. Oh, tap the basket, not good enough. But we'll get this birdie. We'll be back to even. And we still got a couple of holes to pick up a stroke to get under par, because I'm just planning on playing 9 before we start looking for some fish. See you on hole 9. See, this is where you want to do the smart thing. All you really, instead of going for it, for that eagle, just lay up close enough that you know you can tap in for your birdie. This is a par 4. The last 3 holes or so of the front 9 here at Lenora are great places to pick up strokes. They're like par 5s and par 4s, but they play more like par 3s. So as long as you're on your game a little bit, you can pick up a couple of strokes. That was 9, and we ended up being 2 under because I picked up a birdie on the last one as well on hole 8. So enough of that for today. You know, I think that's a good intro back into disc golf for me after not playing for several years. Let's go down to the lake, or the pond rather here, and see if we can't catch some urban bass. Bad sign. It's usually not a bad idea to, wherever they're hanging out, cast around there. Spot. Let's try to work it kind of on this really full. Well, I never thought it made much sense to put videos out on a fishing channel and not catch any fish. So I decided to stop by the secret spot on the way back, check on my buddies, see how the fish are doing, and you know, hopefully hook into something real quick. This pond at one point was less than half pool, and the pump got fixed on it that kind of maintained the water level, and it's been filled back up, and working on stocking some fish to try to get it back up to speed. But it's just a quiet little oasis, nice little fun place to go and hook into a fish or two, you know. Yeah, Lenora Park, we were out there for a little while. Great opportunity to play disc golf, phenomenal beginner course, just wide open. If you're not on your game, you're not going to get frustrated smacking trees all day. Not the best opportunity to catch a fish. A little bit of a less than an acre pond, and it just, yeah, I don't know. There's got to be fish in there. I'm confident that there are bass in that pond. It's just, well, I mean, maybe not. Who knows? But they weren't biting. So, what are you gonna do? So I was about to say, you can count on a bite out here. First cast, feisty one. Not very big. I wonder. Oh, going under the dock. Hold on now. Hold on now. Hold on now. You get them going under the dock like that, the best thing to do is just keep pressure in the direction you want them to go. Eventually they'll find that way. See if we can get old boy. He's hooked pretty good right there. Oh, right there in the, he came off. Little 1 pounder. Fighting good though. Let's see if we can get one that we can actually see. A little chunk of his, I don't know if you can see that, a little chunk of his lip is still on there. Gonna be a fish right over here, actually. Yep, there we go. Little guy. Get them up out of the water. That's one way to make sure that they don't get away on you. Finally got one. The little guy wanted it. He's not the, oh man, he really wanted it. He is not the bluegill we wanted, but he definitely wanted that thing. I mean, good night. I've never seen a little guy get that much fish in his mouth. Perfect size for him though. See if we can't help him out and get him back in the water. That thing is down there. But we got it. We'll be setting him free. Boop. Just a tiny fella. Good opportunity to play disc golf. Not a great opportunity to catch a fish out here at Lenora Park. I'm not going to waste more than a couple hours trying to catch something in this pond. If I haven't hooked into something on a less than an acre, right at an acre pond after a couple hours, it's not a good sign for the day. But I'm going to continue this series. I think some of the other parks probably have better fishing opportunities, so make sure that you're subscribed so you can check that out when they come out. Until then though, this has been Caleb with Certified Dinks. We'll catch you on the next one.